Welcome, faculty, staff, honored guests, family, friends, and the graduates of 2024. I want to start by extending my deepest congratulations to my peers. We did it. I want to follow this up by saying that this speech is the first time that I haven't left something to the last minute in the past 4 years, and I hope that this is a testament to how much this means to me. From the moment that I stepped into Windsor Hall on my very first day, I knew that this would be my hardest goodbye yet. I would be saying goodbye to a place and people that would be my home for 4 years. And since my first day, I've been nostalgic for every moment as it's happened, trying to take nothing for granted, including standing on this stage surrounded by all of you for one last time. If I haven't met you, then I'm sorry, and I truly wish that I had. And if I have met you, then I'll miss you, and I truly mean that too. Whether it was a smile on the walk to campus, a random pairing for a group project, or a hand onto the dance floor at Ducky's, every person that I have met here has positively impacted my experience. This was no easy feat. University is hard, and whether it took you 4, 5, or 6+ years, you have accomplished something incredible. I urge you all to think about what you have done to get to this moment. Some of you are varsity athletes. Some of you are in 12 different clubs and societies, but who's counting? Some of you make the most amazing pieces of art that I have ever seen, and some of you have a work ethic that I envy. I'm so immensely proud of every single one of you, and I always will be. I mean it. If you find yourself in 5, 10, even 20 years doubting your ability to accomplish something, know that I think you can, and I will still be cheering you on. While I know that most of us are tired of hearing about it, I think that it's necessary to mention COVID, because as we have been continuously reminded, we didn't get a normal first year, or second year, or third year. In fact, our last year here might be the first time that we have seen the full faces of people that we have had classes with and have had real meaningful conversations with. We always hear from people how impressive it is that we were able to make the most out of our situation. But have you ever really stopped to think about it? We were thrown into our first year of university having to move ourselves into residence and without a reading week. When COVID got too bad, common study areas were shut down and we could only sit with one other person at meal hall. Some of you didn't even get to experience first year in Sackville. Not only did we survive this, but we took it in stride and did everything in our power to continue traditions and keep the sense of community that you only get at Mount A, all while protecting our bubble. You being here right now is all the more extraordinary because you did it while navigating a global pandemic. Because we had to share in hardships, we now get to share in triumphs. Speaking of hardships, while I know that people mean well, and I'm very guilty of it too, the what's next questions can become a lot around this time of year. They can be even harder to answer when you don't know what you want to do, or maybe you didn't get accepted into the program that you wanted. And I know how frustrating it can be when things don't work out, especially when something that you've worked so hard for doesn't happen. And I know that sometimes it doesn't feel worth it, but it is. Give it time, because if you want it bad enough, and I mean if you really, really want it, I promise that you will achieve anything that you set your mind to. But you know what's also okay? Taking a year off, or 10. Answering the question with, I'm not sure. I've worked really hard these past few years, and I'm ready for a break. Your worth is not determined by the what's next, but by you and your sense of self that can only develop when you give yourself space to breathe. I wouldn't be an English minor if I didn't quote Shakespeare, so here's one that I like. It is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. When I say that I've loved every second here, I mean it. Maybe except for when I failed that chemistry midterm or stayed up till 4 a.m. finishing my honors thesis. I would like to think that I've been as involved as possible during my time here. Between academics and extracurriculars, I've still managed to make time to go to Ducky's every single weekend. I have met my forever friends here, and leaving this place has been one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do. But if this wasn't your reality, that's okay. I want you to know that you didn't fail at this whole university thing because you spent weekends staying up too late or stretching yourself thin with too many extracurriculars. If you are here right now, you have accomplished so much. Straight A's or not, honors or not, future plans or not, your time here is just as valid as everyone else's in this room. And even though the second this ceremony is over, some of us will be saying goodbye to people who have meant more to us than we could have ever dreamed, and we'll be lingering around Sackville for just a little while longer, I know that some of you will drive away as fast as you can. And I hope that you are driving towards better things. Everyone acknowledges the work that you have done here, and you deserve all the good that is coming your way. One of the hardest parts of senior year for me was all of the lasts. I will never be 20 again, eating every single meal on my couch, watching I don't know how many episodes of Desperate Housewives with my roommates. I won't get to walk from class to class, spending time admiring the versatility of our campus with signs from students demanding change next to beautiful beds of flowers. I saw a quote from Pinterest, as this is naturally where I did all of the research for my speech, and it said, "You don't realize the chapter that you are living in until it's the very last time that you will get to live in it." And then it's your last Monday of undergrad, your last wing night, your last time running late to class because you talked to your friends for too long. Some lasts were met with cheers and others with a whole lot of tears, but that's just part of growing up. I mean, change is so hard when you love something this big, and I'm scared that I'll always miss this place and all of you. I mean, what if for the rest of my days when I hear Club Can't Handle Me play, when I watch a football game or a drama production, or when I've left yet another thing to the very last minute, I'll always think of Mount Allison. But is that so bad? Is it a bad thing to have such a positive undergraduate experience? All of these small details are part of a larger story that we get to carry in our memories forever. I promise I'm almost done, but we have a lot of people to thank. The faculty and staff at Mount Allison are unlike anywhere else, and the way that you genuinely care about us does not go unnoticed. Thank you for sharing your passions with us. It's been the privilege of a lifetime to learn from you. To the parents, parental figures, and families, thank you for doing everything that you could to support us getting to this moment. And thank you for raising the most wonderful human beings. A special shout out to my family and specifically to my mom. Thank you for coming to Mount Allison, I won't say how many years ago, and for giving me no chance to go anywhere else. To our support systems, you were there at our lowest points. Thank you for stepping up to hold us when we needed it most. Another special shout out to my roommates. Thank you for the unconditional love that you have given me and for the confidence to carry on in a world where we don't live together anymore. To my best friends, I am me because of you. Every one of you has a piece of my heart, and I will carry you with me forever. And finally, to the class of 2024, who I am now lucky enough to call family, thank you for being here. This school is number one because of people like you. Keep trusting in yourself. Thank you for showing me kindness and friendship like I never knew possible. Okay, I'm sure by this moment my mom is crying so hard she can't even see me, and I'm sure most of you have heard me talk for long enough. So to finally wrap it up, I just want to reiterate that you're not supposed to have everything figured out. Nobody does. Comparison is the thief of joy, and it is our differences that have created the community that we forever get to call home. I will never forget you. I'm so unbelievably proud of you, and I always will be. You are all more capable than you give yourself credit for. You have the power to change the world. And in fact, that's what's expected of us now. We are moving into positions of leadership, and while the pressure that I know a lot of us face can be completely overwhelming, you are not alone. Lean on each other. Kindness is free, and you don't know the impact that a small act of kindness can have on the trajectory of someone's life. Some of you won't remember the smile that you gave me when I looked sad, the words of encouragement you spoke when I was doubting myself, or the ear that you lent me when I needed someone to listen. But I do. These small gestures of kindness and of humanity are the reasons that I'm on this stage, and I hope more than anything that I offered some to you all in return. To end with a quote from my Facebook cover photo in 2015, that's the real trouble with the world. Too many people grow up. They forget. I hope that as you grow up, you don't forget this place and these people. But if you do notice that your memories are fading and you can't be bothered to remember details you swore you never forget, I hope that it's because what is to come is just so much better. Thank you.